What's up? What's happening, folks? Welcome back to the channel, Sports, Life, and Politics TV. I'm Samuel Koppel, YouTube's #1 couch detective, and I'm here for the news. And we're going to be going over this clip today of psychics and astrology on the rise in the United States. Now, I talk about this a lot, how witchcraft and Luciferianism is on the rise in the United States. And astrology is part of that, 100%. I hate astrology with a passion. I've never believed in that shit. Even my wife will tell you, when we met, damn near 15 years ago, I didn't believe then. 10 years before I met her, I didn't believe. I ain't never picked a friend because of their astrological sign. I don't even know what my friends' astrological signs are. The only friend I know whose astrological sign I know is my partner Merle, and that's because he has a big Scorpio on his arm because he's a Scorpio. That's the only person I know. And if you pick your relationships based on astrological signs, you're a fool. If you go right down to your county courthouse, right downtown, there's murderers who's Capricorns, who's Cancers. You got murderers who's Scorpios and Virgos and Leos. None of that shit really matters. It's all a fucking joke. I ain't never seen somebody behind on their bills and they said, "Oh, sweet Leo, please help me get out of this." This shit can't help you whatsoever. I ain't never in my whole life ever seen an astrological sign help anybody ever one time. I ain't never seen nobody with a gun to their head and say, "Oh, sweet Virgo, get me out of this." You're never gonna see it. Most people in today's age believe in this shit. I don't believe in it whatsoever. And I fight against it vehemently every chance I get. People be like, "Oh, I know what sign you is. You look like you. I think you one of them, you a Cancer, ain't you? Because the way you be acting, you's a Cancer." I said, man, I ain't none of that shit. I don't believe in that shit. And every time you ask them, "What's my astrological sign?" they guess wrong. You know why? Because none of that shit holds true. They give you all these long, vague descriptions of people. And some of them descriptions are going to fit you based just on the simple fact of numbers. And the ones that don't, you tend to ignore those. Or it might be something that you do occasionally. Man, I don't believe in that shit, and you shouldn't either. I ain't gonna lie to you. But I made these videos before. Before I go over this clip, I made these videos before. Black woman and witchcraft, the fastest growing religion in America. Modern day witches, are you practicing witchcraft unbeknownst to you? 9 times out of 10, you are practicing witchcraft unbeknownst to yourself. If you believe in this shit, this is part of witchcraft. In both of these videos, I went over several different clips, and in every one of those videos, they had astrological cards and readings and tarot cards and all that bullshit. It's a joke. But we're going to go over this. We're going to see some of the people who are buying into this nonsense. They don't believe in God, but they believe in the Cancer. They don't believe in the Bible, but they believe in the Scorpio. You got to be fucking kidding me. Let's take a look at this. One second. Let's get back to the beginning.
Well, I do believe a little bit in like astrology and stuff like that, and I'm not going to say that psychics are wrong or anything, but I do definitely believe in reincarnation.
It's really helped me with like just stress and anxiety in general, and my overall mental health and acceptance of just like how tiny I am in this great universe. I think that they are.
And you hear that? How tiny I am. I'm so insignificant in this great broad universe, and the bitch ain't been past Wisconsin's. You don't know how big the universe is or isn't because we ain't been outside of the damn. We don't know if it's a projection. We don't know what's going on out there. But everybody has all of these answers based on shit that's theoretical. The Big Bang is called the Big Bang Theory. A lot of this shit is theoretical. That's what kills me with niggas. And then they throw the Negro in here. Now, I just had showed you that video. black women in witchcraft. Black women have been growing the fastest when it comes to witchcraft. They have bought hook, line, and sinker.
True, in some way, shape, or form. I don't know if every person that's a psychic is like real.
I'm actually super interested in these topics myself, so I wanted to dive in a bit more.
She actually says to me that she comes in dreams all the time.
Yeah, I did a lot of dreams. She was really close to me. But before we get there, why are so many young folks gravitating toward New Age spirituality and away from organized religion? So what does spirituality mean to you?
It's another form of knowing when things like science can't answer those questions.
Yeah.
Charles is a.
Look at this. This nigga got box braids. You got to be. Who? How could you these? See, when you believe in astrology, this is your brethren right here. This is your kinfolk for all you astrology niggas and Negroes and white folks, Mexicans and Asians, whoever the hell you are. But this is your people right here. This is why I don't believe in this nonsense. Look at this guy. You gotta be kidding me.
Grad student who left his Baptist faith after coming to terms.
Here we go. He got his lips popped out with some Milli Vanilli braids. And his ass tooted the wrong way. Unbelievable.
With his sexuality.
Specifically with astrology, it resonated with me a lot when I got my birth chart calculated and analyzed for me. I felt like a lot of the personality traits really were me. The way I use it more for is like self-reflection.
More than 60% of non-religious people say they also believe in New Age beliefs, such as
New Age beliefs is really not New Age beliefs. They're ancient beliefs. See, this whole thing, like the Bible says, there's nothing new under the sun. These belief systems aren't New Age. That's another misnomer and a lie. That's just a flat out lie. To believe in astrology is not a New Age belief. To believe in mediums, that's not a New Age belief. They did that shit in ancient Egypt, ancient Mesopotamia. They did that in ancient Rome, ancient Greece. Mediums, that's nothing new there. They talk about mediums in the Bible.
psychics, reincarnation, and astrology. According to a recent survey, 1/3 of Americans 18 to 30 years old believe in astrology.
If you have Taurus, Leo.
And you see, how could you listen to somebody this wacky? Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, and Aquarius. I have very exciting news for you. Look how broad. You done name 4 out of the goddamn 12. However many astrological signs, however many there is, she done named a quarter of them right there. And that's why I say, this shit is not real. You niggas gotta wake up. And folks, I know it ain't all black people that may watch, but you gotta wake up. Look at this lady. Lady here look like Crest toothpaste. And this who you would listen. This lady can't tell me nothing. Milli Vanilli, this remake of The Mermaid, these people can't tell me nothing. Let's hear it again.
Reincarnation and astrology. According to a recent survey, 1/3 of Americans 18 to 30 years old believe in astrology.
If you have Taurus, Leo, Aquarius, or Scorpio placements, listen up because I have very exciting news for you.
I think we're living in a day and age.
Oh my God, this bitch got volcano ash hair. A while ago, she had fucking aqua toothpaste coming out her scalp, and now she got volcano ash. And you want me to listen to these whack jobs? This is the problem in today's society. You want to listen to people who telling you something's new age that's not new age. You don't even know the history. If you think this is new age, you don't even know history. Simple history.
Where people feel more open-minded. Miriam says she's been studying the stars for about 4 years.
My biggest thing is that I never want to force anybody to.
4 years. and the bitch got all the answers. And she has a damn poodle attached to her scalp. Only on Sports, Life, and Politics TV.
You believe in astrology or force anybody to believe in what I teach. I create a space that is welcoming for anybody.
We've seen tons of communities look to the stars for guidance throughout history, whether it be navigating the Pacific Ocean, building ancient temples, or finding a pathway to freedom.
So Vedic astrology refers to astrology that is practiced in India and other South Asian countries, and it derives back thousands of years, and there's lots of rich culture and rich history behind that study of astrology. I think social media has made astrology more accessible through information, and what I mean by this is there's a lot of astrology videos out there that have confirmed a lot of people's life experiences.
Videos about astrology.
We all share similar life experiences. Obviously, there's going to be detail, the minutia, the detail of our lives is going to be different. But overall, the human existence, you're going to share life experiences. So that's where they trick you at. If astrology has ever helped you in life, please put it in the comment and explain how. Tell me how astrology has helped you. And then post your bank account and tell me how much astrology has really helped. Because I know damn well this shit ain't gonna help you do a goddamn thing when shit hit the fan. When the water bill is due, you can't call on astrology to help you get through.
Zodiacs and birth charts have gained millions of views on social. And as for what today's clients seek guidance about, it depends on their age.
And I've noticed that my older clientele tends to ask me questions about their children. Like, hey, what should my son get into for, his career? And then for my younger clientele, I often get those questions of, what's my life purpose? What type of career should I get into? What kind of partner should I look out for?
But for folks who...
See what I mean? If you listen to that whacked out bitch who ain't married and ain't got no kids and trying to tell you about your life, you a goddamn fool. Some of this stuff is just wacky.
If we're looking for a bit more closure or direct contact with loved ones who've passed on, that's where mediums come in.
So it was May of 2000. My grandmother and my aunt were on their way home from a casino in Atlantic City, and what ended up happening is the plane ran out of fuel about 20 minutes before the runway. So them, as well as 17 other people, including pilots, the air crew and everything, perished.
Years after the tragedy, Taryn connected with a psychic medium unexpectedly.
I went to a Christmas party.
And let me say this: are mediums real? Yes, you can conjure this shit up, but you're not supposed to. You're not supposed to worship the dead. You're not supposed to talk to the dead. That's not, once those people pass on, there will be a time for you to reconnect. It's not when you're alive. Now, if naturally you have a dream and those people come to you, that's fine. But by no way, shape, or form, by no means should you be conjuring or having somebody conjure up the dead. That's crazy.
My dad was a part of a ghost hunting group, and part of that group, there was a psychic medium that would kind of help these spirits kind of move on. I'm sitting at, the table, and she comes over to me, and she starts talking to me about my grandparents, and, I don't know this person. She would, say, oh, I, see this beautiful white jewelry box with a ballerina inside, and your grandmother saying, oh, my beautiful ballerina. This person didn't know I did ballet as a little kid. This person doesn't know I have a white jewelry box with a little ballerina inside of it. And, knowing that much, I'm like, wow, this person, actually knows my grandmother. She can see my grandmother and things like that. Having the medium as a bridge to be able to talk with them kind of helped me get that closure that I never really got because it was, such a tragic sudden.
This is how people become a part of cults and shit, like in real life. Like I said, this is how people turn to the dark side. I know all of you guys, but for those of you who Star Wars fan, Anakin, this is how Anakin turned to the dark side. Anakin was told that he can still reconnect with Padme after death. So people, when you conjure this shit up, that's like turning to the dark side. That's like choosing a path that you have no control over. You can't conjure up these spirits and shit, man. You just can't do it. It's against, it's, you know, I believe in the Bible. I don't tell people, this is not, as you can tell, I'm not here to try to Bible thump on you, but I believe in it personally. But in the Bible, there's a reason why they tell you you're not supposed to do this. You're not supposed to worship the dead. You're not supposed to conjure up the dead. You're not supposed to deal with mediums or Wiccans or warlocks. You're not supposed to deal with none of that shit because it's all part of the same tree of wickedness.
When I hear the word medium, I think of like the crystal ball stereotype. I have to admit, I do find myself on like medium TikTok and I will scroll and listen and watch. Part of me really wants to believe this is real, but the other logical part of me is like, how could it be real? So today I'm kind of going into this open, but I'm kind of nervous. I would love to have some type of detail where I'm like, only my family would know that, or only someone else would know that. I will say before we go through, I lost my grandmother in 2017, so if I had to guess someone to come through, I think it'd be her, who were really close. As part of my research into this subject, I met with Matt Frazier, a psychic medium who does readings on social media and live readings on tour. So Matt, did you grow up religious at all?
I grew up Catholic here in this world. I made my communion, all this stuff.
Oh, yeah, he's a Luciferian, you know, and he's part of the alphabet community. So, you know, look, are there people who gifted in these things? Yes, but they usually have chosen a certain path in life. Like Anakin Skywalker in Star Wars. That's why I say in movies, they tell you the truth. Movies and TV shows and on the news, they tend to tell you lies and convenient truths.
But now doing this work, I consider myself warriors of spirituality.
What are some of the common questions people are reaching out for you for?
They want to know who their loved ones are with. They want to know what heaven is like. And more importantly, they want to know if they can talk to them as well. You need this whole phone to stand up because by the way, keep hearing the dictions that's here. Yeah, that's me. Your cousin, he's here.
Let's talk about the skeptics, because there are people out there who say, you know what, there's no scientific data, there's no way we can research this, you can't test this in a lab, why would I believe in it? What would you say to that?
I love when people walk in and they're skeptics and they don't believe and they're like, no, there's no way. But then they
I always talk about color schemes. He's in all black and shimmering gold. Oh, he's most definitely a Luciferian. There's no doubt about it.
walk away forever changed. I mean, I love that part of my job. I see it happen again and again and again.
Have you ever had readings where the person you were speaking to didn't resonate with what you were saying?
I mean, listen, you're gonna know that I have no control. You can't just go and pull somebody down from spirit to speak. They have to have a message and they have to want to speak to that person. I have one policy: I will never lie to somebody. I will never tell them what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you the truth. And some people love me for it, some people hate me for it.
So I'm wondering if you have any messages for me or something you can share.
So you have a grandmother that's here that had passed. That's on your mom's side. She's the one that's stepping forward on the other side when I'm connecting. And she says to me when I'm connecting that, first of all, this is more of a message for your mom than it is for you, because she says to me, Matt, I'm sorry for the way that my family had to watch me suffer here in this world where I'm connecting. She says to me that, first of all, she's the one that's guiding your family on the other side when I'm connecting with her, and especially your mom. She actually says to me that she comes in dreams all the time.
Yeah, I get a lot of dreams. Yeah, she was really close to me.
She tells me that one of her fondest memories when you were just growing up as a little girl. She says to me that you used to spend all these mornings at her house here in the physical, and she used to love to get you dressed up when I'm speaking to her. She actually says to me the one thing that she wants to let you know is this. She says, Matt, she says, I'm sorry about the way that I died. Because when I'm connecting with her, she talks about you having issues getting to her or going to see her when she had passed.
I didn't get to see her.
She says to me, but she knew you were on the way. You were trying to get there. Do you understand that? Please know, she says to me this. She says, Matt, let her know that I did not want her to see me in that way. She says, what I want you to think back to are those pictures that you have of mine. Because she tells me that you have these little pictures of your grandmother that you hold on to. And some of them are actually on your phone. They're pictures of her pictures she's showing me.
Yeah.
So no, she says to me, those are her favorite ones. She goes, know that I'm there. I am with you, and I am safe in that peace.
Ooh. Okay, thank you so much.
Oh, you're so welcome.
And even though I walked away super emotional and slightly more convinced, I still wanted to know about the science behind all this.
So our study compared responses of people who had consulted 4 different types of help.
John is a researcher in Australia who looked at how much psychics helped people looking for mental health support when compared to doctors, therapists, and family members or friends.
So statistically, those who consulted a psychic were rating it a little bit higher, as just a little bit more helpful. Does the explanation that any helper gives have to be true to be helpful? And I'd argue it doesn't. It has to fit the person at the time and lead to adaptive action. Doesn't necessarily happen.
Yeah, you just gonna let a deck of cards tell you everything. Like I said, there are people who are mediums. There are people who can conjure things up. Even in the Bible, when Moses threw down his staff and it turned into a snake, there was Egyptians who had power, was able to they threw their staff down and turned into a snake. So I'm not saying that even on the side of Luciferianism and witchcraft and Wiccan and all of that astrological signs and shit, that there's not power in that, but it's not the right power. And it's most definitely not the power you should be indulging in. And astrological signs cannot help you no way, shape, or form. This is slightly separate. The medium and the astrological, they're slightly different. But the point is, you shouldn't be indulging in this shit, period, point blank.
To be true, a lot of our therapies we've moved on from, and we don't literally believe what they said 30 years ago.
Even if at some point somebody proves that psychics aren't real, all of that kind of stuff, it still can be helpful through that grieving process. I was down in some dark places at certain points growing up, wishing my grandparents would be there. So having the ability to access a psychic medium and kind of get that closure can really, really help and boost your mental health.
Hey, but you know, when my grandmother passed away, I was broken, but by no stretch of the imagination do I want to talk to her right now. Everything she did and taught me is in me. So she doesn't have to, I don't have to go conjure her up from wherever she's at. I would imagine and assume in heaven, but wherever it's at, I don't want to conjure her up and bring her back. I don't even know what that does or it's a lot of ramifications for the things that we do, especially when you don't have a full understanding of them. And people are doing this shit and telling you about astrological signs, and they're going to see mediums and psychics and all that shit. I just don't believe in Miss Cleo. And I just don't believe in astrological signs. It ain't helped nobody. And if it did help you, tell me how in the comments. But I just wanted to go over that clip, you guys. This has been Sports, Life, and Politics TV. I'm Samuel Koppel, YouTube's #1 couch detective. I'm here for the news. Hit that like. Hit that subscribe. I just took your ass. Ain't no way in hell I'm going to believe it. Sweet Leo can help me out of paying a bill ride. Peace.